everybody, it's Kim. Welcome to another video by the Entropy System. So this topic is a little tough for me to talk about, but it's also like educational and gives look into an experience that only someone with DID or OSDD can have. So here we go. When the body was in middle school and like some of elementary school, I was out a lot and I was not aware that I was part of a system. When the body was 12, when I identified with the body and everything, so like I looked like the body, I was the same age as the body. So when the body was 12, when I was 12, like something big happened, and that was just kind of it for me. I'm miserable. I hate everything, you know, and I was just like, I'm going to sleep. I'm done. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. And then I kind of just like vanished. Okay, so like to me, it was like going to sleep and just having really weird dreams. We know that like at least my part of the consciousness was accessed during some points when I was like in hibernation or whatever, because like I used to have a very distinct style of self-harm, and that came up every now and again during, you know, traumatic points as we were growing up. And like I vaguely remember emotions at that time, but like it was more like I was just kind of like living a blurry nightmare, I guess, like having a nightmare, where it was just like images and flashes and emotions. Like I wasn't actually like aware of the passing time. And then I kind of found myself in like I don't know how to explain it. Like I was in this dark cave area, like full of shadows and stuff. And I didn't know if this was like still part of the dream that I thought I was having or what. I was there and Todd was there. You know, he didn't talk, so it was just me and him in this like shadowy dark cave. And that was it. And I slowly sort of came to realize that this was reality, that this wasn't a dream. The headspace used to be an island surrounded by mountains, and I was living in those mountains. I don't know, like I felt this urge to come peek out and see what was going on. And it was like Jacob, like kind of like pushing me to go, you know, and I peeked out and there's this beach and there were all these people. I was like, what the hell? You know, and no one was really aware of me except for Jacob. And he was like, hey, you know, it's time for you. It's safe for you to come out. It's time for you to meet everybody. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like safe for me to come out? Like that doesn't make any sense. And mostly like I was just aware of Wynn at that point. Like I could see the people in the distance, but they were like little specks in the distance, but I was aware of Wynn, and I was like confused and angry, and I was still hurting from, you know, the thing that felt like it had just happened, but it had happened years and years ago. So I tried to scare Wynn. Like I would leave like weird messages for her and act like super scary and like send her scary thoughts and stuff like that, because I was just like frustrated. I was a frustrated preteen who was angsty and didn't know how to handle the situation. And so Wynn was pretty kind of like scared of me in the beginning. Our therapist coaxed me out in therapy and was able to talk to me and kind of, you know, she was like, what year is it? I was like, it's 2002. And she's like, well, actually it's 2018. And I was like, what? God, it was just super disorienting, just being like, it's 16 years later. What? You know, and I kind of like, I spent a lot of time angry at Wynn. You know, I was like, you stole my life. Like, I had a life and you stole it. You came and ripped it from me, and I missed 16 years and I didn't get to experience growing up, and I didn't get to experience, you know, all these new friendships, and I didn't ever get to have a relationship and like this and this and this. So like I straight up hated her for a while. I became super best friends with Andrew, and he was like really nice all the time, and he kept being like, you know, like Wynn really cares about you. You should give her a second try, you know, give her a chance. And I'm like, yeah, no. I was like, we can hang out, but I don't like her, you know. But he, you know, he kept doing that. Like Wynn kept like giving me like presents and stuff, being like, oh, I got you this necklace. Like, oh, I got you whatever. And I'm just like, okay, you're trying to buy my affection. I don't like you. You stole everything from me. You know, I didn't like Wynn. I hated Wynn. But over time, Wynn worked really, really hard to win me over. and to be like, hey, you know, you can trust me. I wasn't aware of you. I'm sorry you felt like I stole your life or whatever. I promise it wasn't malice or anything. Like, we're kind of in the same boat because I didn't know about you guys either. And like, now we're good or whatever. Like, I like her a lot, and she's pretty great. Like, I still get frustrated sometimes because she's out the most, and like, I'm still just used to being out. Like, you know, I'm used to being out and having things be my life and doing things I want, you know. And so kind of what I've been doing is I've been doing things that are like distinctly Kim Kim in the outside world. Everybody kind of does the same stuff a lot. Like, if one person wants to listen to an audiobook, we'll all listen to that audiobook, or we'll all watch the same TV show. We still have a limited amount of time to do anything. And so like, Daniel wants to watch a TV show, but Wynn's out front. So she'll watch the TV show and Daniel will just be co-conscious and like pass that memory. So the memory of the TV show still gets processed and everyone can experience it together. But I've been doing things like, I play Pokemon cards. That's my thing. Like, that's my hobby that I got into, that I'm passionate about. I don't want anybody else playing with my cards. You know, it's my thing. And like, I cosplay. Wynn also cosplays, but that's not a hobby that she's been putting a lot of her effort into like lately. And I like cosplaying too. So like, I have really put that effort, you know, my effort into that. And so now we have cosplays that would not exist if it wasn't for me, Kim Kim. Like, there are tangible physical things in the outside world that are very distinctly Kim Kim. Because like, I don't want to disappear. Like, I need to prove to myself that I'm real, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, I recently had to have a conversation about how I need to get used to spending more time in the headspace because we got another job. I hate it. I'm not a fan of this job. It's miserable to me, but Wynn loves it, you know, and there was a lot of stress surrounding that with me because I realized that I wasn't going to be able to be out enough, you know, as much. I wasn't going to have a lot of time to do outside Kim Kim hobbies because that's what it means when you have multiple jobs. You don't have a lot of free time, and that scared me. That scared the crap out of me. I had to have a conversation about like, being willing to commit more time to the headspace and invest more time on the inside. And like, I kind of had a breakdown because I was like, no, like, the last time I spent a lot of time inside, I lost 16 years. Like, that's terrifying to just like not exist for that long, to just disappear and wake up and 16 years have passed. Like, you missed everything in life. Like, people that, like, one of my best friends was dead. Like, she had died. Like, we'd lost touch with literally everybody that I'd ever known, you know, like anybody who I was friends with, we don't even talk to them anymore. Just everything was different. Everything was foreign. Nothing was mine anymore. Like, there was no trace of me out here in this world. And so that's it. And so the idea of going back into the headspace and like consciously being like, okay, I'm going to spend a lot of time in the headspace. I'm going to actively make that choice and not just like, you know, be in the headspace waiting for my chance to come out. Like, being co-conscious and being like, okay, now it's mine, you know, like whatever. Like, that's scary because I don't want to do that again. I don't want to not exist again. It just kind of made me feel like I wasn't real. Like, I was just like an imaginary friend in someone's head. Like, I only exist in Wynn's head. So am I even real? Am I even like an actual person? And it's really hard to like wrap my head around, and it's just very scary. And it all kind of came to a head one day and I was freaking out, and Ed kind of like, I was in the body and I was like freaking out. I was crying and I felt Ed like get really close with me, like really close to the front, and kind of like almost like he was like coming to sit like right next to me. And he was like, hey, you know what, like, when I redid the headspace, I got rid of the dark place. Like, the dark place doesn't exist. So there is nowhere for you to disappear to. He was like, you're not going to disappear. I will not, as long as I exist, I will not allow you to disappear. Like, you will be active and present at all times. You don't need to worry about it. And that made me feel a lot better. I'm still weird about it. I'm trying to invest more time, like, you know, like I'm making myself an NPC like pet, like imagining that it exists, and so it exists for me because headspaces are weird, you know, so I can like spend time with the pet inside, you know, and then whatever. And I'm trying to think of places in the city that it would be fun for me to go to. So like I'm working on it. It's just something that I'm gonna have to learn to get past. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been working through lately. And I know for a fact that that's not something that anybody outside of a system would be able to like that's not something that you would have to worry about. So I just share, you know, I thought I'd just share that with you guys and give you a little insight to what it's like to have been a dormant altar on accident, I guess. Please don't forget, we've got t-shirts. They're awesome. You can check out our Teespring in the description box below. Also, we'll be launching our Instagram on July 12th, so look forward to that. We'll be posting like all the information on that on Twitter, and then on the video on that following Monday. But if you want early access, like immediate access to our Instagram, follow us on Twitter at entropy_system. And finally, we have a huge fun surprise that's going to happen when we hit 30K, and we are so close. I'll give you like a very small hint. It has something to do with the little opening animation at the beginning of our videos. That's a very, very vague hint. But you guys are clever. I'm sure some of you will get it immediately. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. And remember, you are loved, you are valuable, and you are valid. Bye.
Hi everybody, it's Win. I want to give a big thank you shout out to Lily Andrews and all of our patrons for contributing to our channel and helping us do what we do on a weekly basis. If you're interested in being a patron, a link to our Patreon is in the description below. If you're interested in sending us fan mail of any kind, our P.O. Box address is also in the description below. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye!